Connect 4 is a two-player connection game in which the players first choose a color and then take turns dropping colored discs from the top into a 7-column, 6-row vertically suspended grid. The pieces fall straight down, occupying the next available space within the column. The object of the game is to connect 4 of one's own discs of the same color next to each other vertically, horizontally, or diagonally before your opponent. Connect 4 is a strongly solved game. The first player can always win by playing the right moves. The game was first sold under the famous Connect 4 trademark by Milton Bradley in February 1974. Mathematical solution: Connect 4 is a two-player game with perfect information. This term describes games where one player at a time plays. Players have all the information about moves that have taken place, and all moves that can take place, for a given game state. Connect 4 also belongs to the classification of an adversarial, zero-sum game, since a player's advantage is an opponent's disadvantage. One measure of complexity of the Connect 4 game is the number of possible games board positions. For classic Connect 4 played on 6-high, 7-wide, grid, there are 4,531,985,219,092 positions for all game boards populated with 0 to 42 pieces. The game was first solved by James Dow Allen, and independently by Victor Alice. Alice describes a knowledge-based approach, with 9 strategies, as a solution for Connect 4. Allen also describes winning strategies in his analysis of the game. At the time of the initial solutions for Connect 4, brute force analysis was not deemed feasible given the game's complexity and the computer technology available at the time. Connect 4 has since been solved with brute force methods beginning with John Trump's work in compiling an 8-ply database. The artificial intelligence algorithms able to strongly solve Connect 4 are Minimax or Negamax, with optimizations that include alpha-beta pruning, dynamic history ordering of game player moves, and transposition tables. The code for solving Connect 4 with these methods is also the basis for the Fauerstone's integer performance benchmark. The solved conclusion for Connect 4 is first player win. With perfect play, the first player can force a win, on or before the 41st move by starting in the middle column. The game is a theoretical draw when the first player starts in the columns adjacent to the center. For the edges of the game board, column 1 and 2 on left, and columns 7 and 6 on right, the exact move values score for first player start is loss on the 40th move, and loss on the 42nd move, respectively. In other words, by starting with the 4 outer columns, the first player allows the second player to force a win. Rule variations: there are many variations of Connect 4 with differing game board sizes, board arrangements, game pieces, and/or gameplay rules. Many variations are popular with game theory and artificial intelligence research, rather than with physical game boards and gameplay by persons. The most commonly used Connect 4 board size is 7 columns or 6 rows. Size variations include 8A, 7, 9A, 7, 10A, 7, 8A, 8, and Infinite Connect 4. Alternate board arrangements include Cylinder Infinite Connect 4. One board variation available as a physical game is Hasbro's Connect 4x4. Several versions of Hasbro's Connect 4 physical gamebot make it easy to remove game pieces from the bottom one at a time. Along with traditional gameplay, this feature allows for variations of the game. Pop-out starts the same as traditional gameplay, with an empty board and players alternating turns placing their own colored discs into the board. During each turn, a player can either add another disc from the top or, if one has any discs of his or her own color on the bottom row, remove a disc of one's own color from the bottom. Popping a disc out from the bottom drops every disc above it down one space, changing their relationship with the rest of the board and changing the possibilities for a connection. The first player to connect 4 of their discs horizontally, vertically, or diagonally wins the game. Pop 10. Before play begins, Pop 10 is set up differently from the traditional game. Taking turns, each player places their opponent's color discs into the slots filling up only the bottom row, then moving on to the next row until it is filled and so forth until all rows have been filled. Gameplay works by players taking turns removing a disc of one's own color through the bottom of the board. If the disc that was removed was part of a 4-disc connection at the time of its removal, the player sets it aside out of play and immediately takes another turn. If it was not part of a Connect 4, then it must be placed back on the board through a slot at the top into any open space and the turn ends, switching to the other player. The first player to set aside 10 discs of his or her color wins the game. 5-inch a row. The 5-inch a row variation for Connect 4 is a game played on a 6-high, 9-wide grid. Hasbro adds 2 additional board columns, already filled with player pieces in an alternating pattern, to the left and right sides of their standard 6x7 game board. The game plays similarly to the original Connect 4, except players must now get 5 pieces in a row to win. Notice this is still a 42-ply game, since the 2 new columns added to the game represent 12 game pieces already played, before the start of a game. Power Up. In this variation of Connect 4, players begin a game with 1 or more specially marked, Power Checkers game pieces, which each player may choose to play once per game. When playing a piece marked with an anvil icon, for example, the player may immediately pop out all pieces below it, leaving the anvil piece at the bottom row of the game board. Other marked game pieces include one with a wall icon, allowing a player to play a second consecutive non-winning turn with an unmarked piece, AA, 2 icon, allowing for an unrestricted second turn with an unmarked piece, and a bomb icon, allowing a player to immediately pop out an opponent's piece. Default Draw. In this variation, if a player wins by default, it is considered a draw. Meaning if there are less than 3 spaces left, and your opponent's only next move is for you to win, that is considered a default win, which is also considered a draw because the opponent has no more strategical moves. Other versions. Hasbro also produce various sizes of giant Connect 4, suitable for outdoor use. The largest is built from weather-resistant wood, and measures 120 cm in both width and height. Connect 4 was released for the Microvision video game console in 1979, developed by Robert Hofberg. It was also released for the Texas Instruments 99/4 computer the same year. With the proliferation of mobile devices, Connect 4 has regained popularity as a game that can be played quickly and against another person over an internet connection. Popular culture. Broadcaster and writer Stuart McCorney while working at the ME started a rumor that Connect 4 was invented by David Bowie, which became an urban myth. On the Hub's game show Family Game Night, there is a game under the name Connect 4 Basketball in which teams use colored balls. See also, Connect 4x4, Score 4, Ganoku, References, A City College Toy Story. CUNY Matters. City University of New York. Winter 2001 Obituary, Ned Strungen. New York Times. April 18, 2011 Number of legal 7x6 Connect 4 positions after n-plies, Online Encyclopedia of Integer Sequences, ABC John's Connect 4 Playground. Homepages. May 25, 2010 A.B. Ellis, Victor, A Knowledge-Based Approach of Connect 4, Bridge University, October 1988, A.B. Allen, James D., Expert Play in Connect 4, 1990, Allen, James D. The Complete Book of Connect 4, History, Strategy, Puzzles. Sterling Publishing Company. ISBN A14027566216 Trump, John, Connect 4 Dataset, February 4, 1995, ABC4 in a row solver, Yamaguchi, Y. K. Yamaguchi. T. Tanaka. T. Kaneko. Infinite Connect 4 is solved, draw. Advances in Computer Games, ACG 2011. LNCS 7168, 208 €219 Yamaguchi, Y. K. Yamaguchi. T. Tanaka. Cylinder Infinite Connect 4 except for widths 2, 6, and 11 is solved, drawn. The 8th International Conference on Computers and Games Connect 4 Instructions. Hasbro Incorporated 2009 there, David. HIGNFY Guest Interview, Stuart McInerney. Comedy Blog. BBC External links, Connect 4 at Board Game Geek, Connect 4 at Math World, Heron, Brady. Connect 4. Number Fillet.